Alrighty guys, here it is, all modded out. After I did the video this morning, dug out all my parts that I have had stashed away. So what we did here is I put on a set of weighted Treal wheels with the Hyrax tires. I also put on some weight down low. I put on the Treal diff covers, front and rear. Then I also added the wheel wideners from Treal as well to kind of give it a little bit wider stance. And let's see what else. Steering knuckles from Treal also, the brass ones in the back. You can see the diff cover, and then I also added the weighted outers. Other thing that I put on here that I got in the mail, I'll put it in the description, but they're a flex blade, kind of like the ones Mofo does, and I have a bunch of Mofo ones on all my other rigs. This was just a different design that I saw online that I ordered some up, and they work pretty cool, so they work just as well as Mofos do. And let's see, what else did I add here? Some high clearance links from Injora that I had sitting around, and a brass center diff skid plate from NHX. I cannot remember the store that I got them from on eBay. And then some Injora shocks that I had floating around in my toolbox as well. These ones are a little bit longer than stock, but not as long as some of the oil-filled shocks, and they work pretty well. I put some grease in them to dampen them a little bit, and they work really well. That's what I usually do on all of my shocks, is either put dielectric grease or O-ring grease, either one, whichever one I happen to have on hand, and it works pretty well. And then of course on the steering linkage, I put the little O-rings on there to tighten it up, and that works really well. Maybe I'll get some aluminum ones later on, but as of right now it's working fine. I glued up the servo saver to help tighten up the steering as well. And other than that, that's really about it. The cool thing is that, you know, when I was driving it earlier, you could see how bouncy it was, but you know, with the weight down low and the new shocks, you know, it plants itself immediately, which is cool. But other than that, you know, I've driven it a tiny bit before I started filming, and oh my god, it's a huge difference. So let's go ahead and give it a shot here. Immediately, you know, you can see now that with the softer springs and everything, that now it actually wants to flex. It just doesn't want to keep tight and flip over. So now everything fully articulates up. You know, these Hyrax tires are pretty damn awesome too. And it goes. You know, pretty big difference. You know, everyone, like with so many people say, tires are the biggest difference maker. And yes, I agree. See, like that, it came right up, no problem. They grip really well. And again, you can see everything articulate out. Whereas I was just messing around a little bit and was able to catch this line, which is pretty cool. I've only ever been able to get it with the Betty and the Deadbolt, but I just landed it with this thing. With the Gladiators, I have not been able to get it, but this one did, which was pretty cool. Definitely will give you another example of how better tires, a little bit of lower weight distribution, lowering that center of gravity makes a difference. no way it would have done it in the old, with the old original out of the box setup. I tried it once off camera and it just would not even get the up the rock face first. So pretty cool.